Welcome back, fight fans. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the career of one of the most legendary figures in MMA history, Anderson, the Spider, Silva. Known for his unmatched striking, incredible movement, and the ability to finish fights in jaw-dropping fashion, Silva has cemented himself as one of the greatest fighters of all time. In this video, we'll explore why Anderson Silva could destroy anyone in his prime and why his legacy continues to inspire fighters around the globe. Anderson Silva, born on April 14, 1975, in São Paulo, Brazil, is widely regarded as one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time. Silva began his professional MMA career in 1997 and rose to prominence with his impeccable skills and unique fighting style. Best known for his historic reign as the UFC middleweight champion, Silva holds the record for the longest title reign in UFC history, spanning an incredible 2,457 days, with 10 successful title defenses. His combination of pinpoint accuracy, creativity, and calm demeanor made him a terrifying opponent for anyone who stepped into the octagon. Let's break down what made Anderson Silva so dangerous inside the cage. Unmatched striking. Silva's striking is nothing short of poetry in motion. Utilizing techniques from Muay Thai, boxing, and capoeira, Silva could dismantle his opponents with precision. His ability to read opponents and counterstrike made him a nightmare to fight. Elite footwork and movement. Silva's movement in the cage was like no other. His head movement, evasiveness, and ability to control distance allowed him to avoid strikes and set up devastating counters. It's as if he was playing chess while his opponents were playing checkers. Versatility. Anderson Silva wasn't just a striker. He was also highly skilled on the ground, with a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. Whether standing or on the mat, Silva was a complete fighter capable of finishing fights anywhere. Psychological warfare. One of Silva's greatest strengths was his ability to mentally break his opponents. From taunting mid-fight to luring them into traps, Silva could get into his opponent's head, forcing them to make costly mistakes. Let's relive some of Anderson Silva's most iconic moments that solidified his legendary status. 1. Silva vs. Rich Franklin, 2006. In just his second UFC fight, Silva faced then-champion Rich Franklin for the middleweight title. Silva's clinch work was a masterclass, using precision knees to finish Franklin in the first round. This performance marked the beginning of Silva's dominance in the UFC. 2. Silva vs. Forrest Griffin, 2009. This fight is often described as one of the most humiliating defeats in MMA history. Silva made Griffin, a former light heavyweight champion, look amateurish. His head movement and counter-punching were so effective that Griffin couldn't land a single meaningful strike before being knocked out by a retreating jab. 3. Silva vs. Chael Sonnen, 2010. After being dominated for nearly 5 rounds by Chael Sonnen's wrestling, Silva pulled off one of the most dramatic comebacks in MMA history. In the final minutes of the 5th round, Silva secured a triangle choke, forcing Sonnen to tap and retaining his title in unforgettable fashion. 4. Silva vs. Vitor Belfort, 2011. The front kick heard around the world. Silva landed a perfectly timed front kick to Belfort's face, knocking him out cold in the first round. This highlight remains one of the most iconic knockouts in UFC history. Why could Anderson Silva destroy anyone in his prime? It all comes down to a unique combination of factors. Adaptability. Silva's ability to adapt mid-fight made him nearly impossible to game plan against. Whether facing strikers, wrestlers, or submission artists, Silva always found a way to impose his style. IQ and creativity. Silva's fight IQ is legendary. He could anticipate his opponent's moves and counter them with techniques most fighters wouldn't even think of. His creativity, from spinning elbows to flying knees, made him unpredictable. Fear factor. Much like Mike Tyson in boxing, Silva's aura of invincibility intimidated opponents before the fight even started. Fighters knew they were stepping into the cage with someone capable of ending the fight in spectacular fashion. Of course, no fighter is invincible, and Silva faced his share of challenges. Later in his career, he suffered defeats, injuries, and a suspension that cast a shadow over his achievements. But these setbacks don't diminish his impact on the sport. Silva's legacy isn't just about his wins, it's about the way he fought. He brought artistry and excitement to MMA, inspiring a new generation of fighters. From Israel Adesanya to Conor McGregor, many of today's stars credit Silva as one of their biggest influences. So, is Anderson Silva the greatest MMA fighter of all time? While the GOAT debate will always rage on, Silva's dominance, style, and highlight reel moments make him a strong contender for the title. Whether or not he's your pick for the best ever, there's no denying Silva changed the game forever. Anderson Silva isn't just a fighter, he's a legend. With his incredible skills, unforgettable moments, and undeniable impact on the sport, Silva remains a shining example of what it means to be a martial artist. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the career of The Spider. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more MMA breakdowns and fight analysis. What's your favorite Anderson Silva moment? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, fight fans, stay sharp and keep fighting.